Welcome, everyone, to episode 45 of David Guillen Podcast. I'm excited to be with you. As usual, we spend about 15 to 20 minutes explaining the energy of the week, what you might expect, and some practical, spiritual, and tactical tools around what you can do to elevate your consciousness and see miracles. I always also share briefly some of the tour dates of myself coming around the world. I'll be in Tel Aviv next week, June 6th. I'll probably be one of our biggest seminars yet. People are flying in from all around the world. And right after that, I will be actually taking a little bit of a break, but be in Miami in September, London, and we are working on Dubai as well. So that'll be in the fall. All of these dates are on my website. Just go to davidguillen.com and then click on the events tab. I also have just come out with a new digital series called Limitless Manifestation. It's about 5 to 6 hours of content that we've produced based on one of my live events, helping you manifest miracles in your lives. It's deep, it's powerful, it's more of a live setting as opposed to me here in a camera setting. And so it's a different type of energy, and I think you'll like it. Also, you can find that on my website. So what is the energy of this week? And what are some of the things that we can expect to experience? This is the week of understanding our desire. And many times the challenges that we go through in life and the people who come into our lives are coming to reflect back to us what our desires are. If we could actually take a spiritual MRI scan of your desires, we would see almost a pie chart of the many things that the soul is desiring and craving. A lot of these are conscious and a lot of these are unconscious. And the work of Kabbalah is the work of understanding your desires and elevating your desires to be at a place that is aligned with the desires of the soul. As a result, there's a vibration that is sent across this world and felt on every level, in every kingdom, and even the unseen world, the world of angels and the world beyond. And what happens is this world that was created and designed to support us, to serve the human kingdom, because the human kingdom is the only kingdom that has the free will to connect to the light of the Creator. We are the only ones that have choice. Animals don't have choice. Vegetables don't have choice. And the mineral kingdom does not have choice. They are pre-programmed to be a certain way to serve the human kingdom. And so because of our soul's correction and the negativity that we came to the world with, we are given a choice every day to either act like the Creator or to be reactive, to react to our lack, our fears, our insecurities, and seek out instant gratification. This is the choice we have. Kabbalah is giving you the tools and the power to transform that and to become like the Creator so that you can see miracles in your life. So this transformation begins when you understand what your desire is. And a lot of people, a lot of times, a lot of us, we have a floppy desire. We have desires that are being distorted and changed and very whimsical. And so I want to actually share something practical we can all do both in the morning and at night at the very least to establish a powerful desire. And as a result, a powerful vessel that sends out a signal to the entire world, and in fact, the entire universe, that will help elevate you to a better destiny for that day. And this is the week. This is the week where a person can transform, can elevate to the highest level of their desire if they choose to. This is one of the weeks. There's actually a few in the year where this gift is available, and this is one of them. And the energy actually continues until the following Tuesday around the world. And what date would that be? That would be June 2nd, if I'm not mistaken. When you wake up in the morning, there are forces all around the world that are actually prompting you to think in a very limited way, in a very reactive way. The reason why sometimes people say don't look at your phone first thing in the morning is not that there's anything intrinsically wrong with just jumping into your phone. In fact, recently I talked about how that's one of the things I do is first thing I do is I look at my phone. And it's not that it's reactive or not. It's that what we want to do in the first 30 minutes of the day, at least, at the seed level of the day, is to establish our desire for the day. What do you want? What is your goal? And the Kabbalists say that we actually have 3 levels of our soul. They are called Nefesh, Ruach, and Neshama. And the Nefesh part of the soul encompasses all the desires we have for basic survival. The desires for food, the desire for sex, the desire for the basic needs so that I can survive another day. And yeah, that's why when we have cravings or we want to eat something or we want to connect to someone's energy, this is coming from the lowest level of the soul. And most people are only operating from this lowest level of the soul. And if I only am communicating from the level of nefesh, of my desires, this lowest level, so the entire world must accommodate. And so all the forces in this world will only be helping me and guide me to satisfy those basic needs. It's not a bad thing. But we soon realize that we have so much else inside of ourselves that is being unrealized, that is dormant. And as a result, we're not taking advantage of the vessel that is inside of us to be able to draw something greater into our lives. The second level, which is Ruach, encompasses the desires that are more on an emotional level. For example, we all desire to be respected, to be validated, to be honored. It is not necessary for our survival the way maybe food would be or intimacy would be, but it's on a higher level. There's a deeper part of us that wants people to appreciate us. There's nothing wrong with that. We know that the Creator is a force that is respected in this world, and so we desire to be like our source, which is the Creator. So we also desire to be respected. In the same way that the Creator is a force that has created everything in this world, all the desires and all the vessels in this world, we too always feel a pull to create in this world. You could be at a job or in a career that might be productive. It might be helping the world, but if it's not your passion, if you don't feel like you're creating something, if you're not given autonomy or freedom to solve a problem or be who you are meant to be, you will suffer and you will feel empty. And a lot of people are in positions like this, in jobs like this. And if you are in one, take it as a message that this week you can transition to a career path that you have always wanted to be in, even though it's scary and it's dark and you don't know what's waiting for you. And the paycheck is definitely more stable where you're at. Know that you will suffer if you are doing something that you do not love and you do not feel like you are a creator, because we came from the Creator. And so we desire to be like the Creator. And if you are not creating in the way that you wish, you are actually going against the vibration of creation. And so you're not seeing miracles. People who stay in jobs or careers that they do not enjoy are literally creating the greatest short circuit. It's actually a form of evil. It's actually a form of the creation of darkness to do something that you do not love. So this level of Ruach encompasses those desires. And many times we walk around just wanting people to like us or to compliment us. We might be part of a career path, or we might post on social media, or we might want to befriend certain people because we feel that's going to be good for our status. That's going to make me more appealing. It's going to make me more attractive. It's going to make people want me more, desire me more. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. It's an intrinsic desire, but it's only the second level of our desire. The third level is called Neshama, and it's the desire of the soul to have a relationship with the Creator. This is what everyone in the world is truly seeking, whether they realize it or not, are conscious of it or not, or are talking about it or not. Why is religion so big? Why is the Bible the best-selling book of all time? What is it about this idea that people want to serve something higher than themselves? And the highest thing to serve is the Creator, because this is coming from the deepest part of our soul. The challenge becomes that we're not conscious of that. Throughout the day, we forget the Creator. We forget that we want to be close to the Creator. We forget that we want to be like the Creator. And even if there are people in this world who are thinking about the Creator, but it could be more in a religious sense, not in the sense that the Kabbalists explain. This is why Kabbalah has become so popular amongst all religions. I've shared this before. Every religion follows this wisdom, not just my Kabbalah content. There's many great people out there teaching Kabbalah, but people are enamored by Kabbalah because it is helping them elevate their understanding of their own religion. Kabbalah is not a religion. Kabbalah is not trying to tell you to leave your religion. Kabbalah is giving you an understanding of the true depth and soul of the spiritual path that your body came into the world to inhabit, the one your parents gave you, your culture gave you, the one you feel most connected to. That is what is meant for your soul and your soul's correction. All Kabbalah is doing is shining a light of how to understand that deeper. And so the Kabbalists have shared with us, the sages from Abraham all the way down to our time, that the greatest desire you can have is a relationship with the Creator. And what that means is affinity of form with the Creator, the Creator's attributes. If the Creator has this quality, we must strive to have this quality as well. So what are these qualities? We talk about them frequently. I talk about them in Your Infinite Soul, which I highly recommend if you haven't taken it. I know many people listen to this podcast. Trust me, take it. It's just 3 hours of content. You can pay whatever you want for it, but it will give you a framework of how to live your life. In fact, these podcasts will be more powerful for you once you have this framework. And the basic thing that we're learning is, how do you become like the Creator? And I'll remind us of a couple of the most important ways to do so. Number one, when your fear and lack comes up today, just pause. Just pause and you say, what a gift. And what you're doing at that exact moment is you're shifting from the lower levels of consciousness, the reactive side of you, the side of you that came to this world to correct itself, and you're shifting to a place of wholeness. The reason why you're pausing is because you're basically saying to yourself and to the universe, there's nothing I need to change right now because it's perfect. Your body consciousness, your reactive state, your tikkun, your soul correction that you came to this world with, is trying to tell you something different. You need to react. You need to control. You need to micromanage. You need to vindicate yourself. You need to do PR for your reputation. You need to set the record straight. You need to show people that they can't take advantage of you. You must do that right away. All of these things are reactive, and it is coming from a place of lack. And as a result, you're not acting like the Creator because the Creator has no lack. So even though you're in a painful situation, even though you're going through rejection or loss or sickness or fear of being alone, fear of not having children, fear of something not going your way, even though you feel all those feelings, you have to realize it's a complete test. It's a total illusion. Your choice at that moment to be whole in your consciousness then forces the physical world to catch up to what your consciousness is. Because your consciousness creates the reality. We think the reality is creating our feelings, and the reality that we see, feel, hear, touch is what's controlling me, but it's the other way around. You are actually creating and controlling that reality. And so when you pause and you say, what a gift, and you meditate that you're completely whole and there's nothing that you're missing, well, all the atoms around you and this entire structure in this universe has to listen to that. And you shift to a vibration, a new destiny where there's wholeness. If you're attracting people who are wishy-washy, if you're attracting people who are canceling on you, if you're attracting people who seem good in the beginning, but then they don't commit to you, it's because you're just attracting people who are completely on the same vibration that you're at. I was speaking to somebody recently, and she was telling me the type of men that she attracts. And the type of men that she attracts were men that would commit in the beginning, but not commit later. And this is almost always indicative of a tikkun, of a soul correction, that you haven't committed to yourself. You don't believe in yourself. It can be you don't believe in yourself in your career and the way you bring light to the world. You don't believe yourself as a man or a woman and the value you bring in a relationship. You don't believe in yourself because maybe you think you've done something bad in the past and you carry guilt and shame. Because when you carry guilt and shame, you're actually basically saying that you're not worthy and you don't believe in yourself. That's why you're still carrying it. So these are all vibrations. So just thinking, well, I'm going to choose a different type of man or a different type of woman, you will not ever be able to choose a different type of man or woman, because the only men and women that will be shown to you are of the same kind. So you will actually say, well, I'm never going to choose a man who doesn't choose me. Well, then you will be sent 1 million men who aren't planning to choose you, and you will reject all 1 million of them, and you'll still be alone. Because something inside you didn't change. Something inside of us has to shift. It's not just about we're not even making choices in the outside world. Nobody chooses who they marry, by the way. The sages say, that's already chosen for you. You are not going to choose your soulmate. You're not going to choose even your career path. And as I said it before, I said, this is the week that you can choose to leave. It's not that you're going to choose to leave because you're choosing a new career. You are choosing to stop thinking small. You are choosing to stop living in a vibration of safety because you're afraid of the unknown. You're afraid of actually being put in a position where now you have to have certainty beyond logic. And that's scary. I'd rather get my certainty from my paycheck that comes in every 2 weeks. I know exactly how it gets deposited in my bank account. I know exactly how much it is. I know when it's going to come. I know when it's going to clear, and I know when I can spend it. But leaving requires certainty beyond logic. Leaving requires me to expand my vessel and to trust the unknown. Leaving requires me to face my fear of failure, or even my fear of being successful, which is actually a bigger fear most people have. The fear of actually things working out is a greater fear for most people than things not working out. People are afraid to be successful. People are afraid to be known. People are afraid to be famous. People are afraid to be looked at. People are afraid to have abundance. Because with that comes an awesome responsibility, and that's nerve-wracking for most people. So they rather stay small and hidden, and they're comforted by that. And so the only choice we really have is the choice to be like the Creator. We have to stop thinking that we're actually choosing these people outside of us, or these relationships, or these dynamics, or this home that you live in, or the city. People are like, oh, should I live in this city or that city? You're not choosing that. That's already been chosen. And maybe there are 2 destinies that have been chosen for you. One is you live in New York, or one you live in Miami. There are 2 actually destinies. One where you're in New York and one where you're in Miami. So are you choosing one of those realities? No. What you're choosing is to transform some kind of lack inside of you because of certain tests that are coming up that day. And once you transform that lack, you'll be forced into one of those cities, depending on whatever vibration you chose earlier in the day, or a week, or a month. So this is the week where when we wake up in the morning and when we go to bed at night, talk out loud to the Creator, to the universe, and establish that 3rd level of desire. You want a relationship with the Creator. This is the most important thing to you. And secondary is the Ruach and the Nefesh. Secondary is the validation from the world, the respect, the honor, the food, the relationships. All those other things will cater to the highest level of the soul. You're not losing those things. You're not letting go of those things. You're just prioritizing the greatest desire you can possibly have, which is, I want to be like the Creator. That is more important than anything else in this world. And when you establish that desire, the entire universe will come and support you.